Welcome back to another episode of Health is Wealth. And thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. And as always, I am beyond grateful from the bottom of my heart and thankful to each and every one of you who is tuning in to these episodes. I truly appreciate your support and hope you're finding value in this podcast as I just share thoughts and hopefully some words to you of inspiration and motivation, things I'm learning for the new time, things that I'm just relearning and just have a different viewpoint on them, right? As I'm on my own journey on this wild ride we call life. And so really do hope you're finding and gain some value from this. If you're hearing something from the first time, if you're hearing something again, but again, maybe you've got a different viewpoint and perspective on it, if it moves you in any which way, just to even inspire or motivate you, just to get excited about life as I am again on my own journey, just trying to elevate to that next level, trying to find that next greater version of myself. So if it improves your life in any which way, that's what I'm truly hoping to do. So again, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're busy, you got a lot going on. So to take a few minutes here to check and listen to this, I hope it does something to improve the quality of your life and your day today with a few motivating words, right? So on this week's episode, I wanted to talk about this idea of what's fortune without fulfillment. So I got this from listening to a podcast here recently from Nick Bare, who is the owner of BPN, Bare Performance Nutrition. It was on his podcast where he had a guest who he interviewed talking about this, and it made me think a lot about my pursuit on my journey and what the goal is and where I plan to go with it and what it all means to me. And so really breaking down what this conversation was about was somebody, who was talking about there's more to life than just the fortune, right? It was somebody who achieved all this mass success because that's what he believed would bring him happiness and fulfillment, right? That's what he had been led to be believed by society. So he chased all this money, he got all the nice things, thinking that he'd hit this moment of reaching all this success in his life, buying all the nice stuff, having all the nice experiences, buying all the material things, thinking he'd arrive at this point to be like, yes, I made it, confettis would fall from the sky and, you'd have this feeling of just satisfaction and you just feel happy and fulfilled and everything's great from there. And what he realized in his own journey was just, you get to that point, as he described, and, you realize that after you buy all the things, if all you're chasing is the fortune, is the money, then you end up, feeling empty. You feel like, what is there, right? Because when that's all it is about, there's no meaning behind it. There's no purpose behind it. When the sole purpose of the journey is just to chase the monetary things. And so it just made me think a lot about in my own journey because, I openly talk about me wanting to build wealth, right? In all areas of my life, physical, financial, my faith and relationships, and all different aspects of life. And so I truly believe, though, for me as well, I'm on a path to achieve essentially all of it, For me, it's not just about chasing the fortune of things. I do truly believe that there's something to it because I believe creating financial wealth, right, can have an ability in our lives to improve the quality of our lives. It can help aid in providing freedom and security and opportunities and choices and experiences and lifestyle and abundance and improve the quality of life for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones, for those around you. But I also do believe that it is not the end all be all. I don't believe that is all there is to life, And as I've heard, several entrepreneurs, talk about this, it makes a lot of sense. And so for me personally, my journey is about achieving all of them, I'm not just out to chase the fortune and the wealth for the sake of buying things. I am out to pursue what I believe I'm being called to do, what I believe God has planned for me, what I feel I am best due to serve in this world. And that's where you find fulfillment. It's not about how much money's in the bank or the nice car that you drive or the nice home that you live in and all of that, it's all nice stuff. But in the end, if that's all your identity is, then you might find yourself surprised if you spend all the time chasing it and you get there and you never have this moment where you're like, I'm happy, I'm good now, I don't have to feel this and that. And that's the point of what I hear these guys talk about who have already achieved that kind of success, that there's a point when you just got it, and then what? You don't have this moment where you feel you arrived. You don't have this moment of bliss where you're like, everything's good now. You don't have this moment of fulfillment. It just becomes things. And so it is important to understand that, that the fortune essentially can buy so many things in life, but it necessarily can't buy fulfillment. Fulfillment is what you feel deep in your heart and in your soul. It's what gives you purpose to live. It's what gives you the drive, and meaning to feel you've got purpose in this world. And that is so true, and I just think about it in my own journey, because the reality is there's lots of ways to make money. There's lots of opportunities to make that. But for me in my own journey, I don't want to just do that. I just don't want to make the most amount of money that I could possibly make. Yeah, it could be life-changing, right? In a sense. But if that's all there is, then what is there to just that, right? Me behind my journey is to live the best of both worlds. Yes, I want to create wealth for all the security, all the other great things, generational wealth, but I also want to doing it in an alley, in a lane, on a path that I believe I'm being called to, that I'm being drawn to. Because for me, it's not so much about what that monetary, achievement can mean for me, but how I can use it to create impact, to create opportunities, to change lives around me, And I hear a lot of these entrepreneurs who really made it, who explain that, quite thoroughly, that it's like when all you do is chase the success and nothing more, you just feel empty. You can only buy so many things, and once you got it all and then it's like, then what, And you feel empty and you don't feel happy and you don't feel satisfied. And the only way you gain that satisfaction is through fulfillment, And again, there's a misconception because sometimes we believe that success from the monetary things, from the material items, is the validation of that fulfillment. We're going to feel happy. We're going to feel, like we made it. We're going to feel like we got it, But there's a lot of them that say they get to that point and then it just teeters off. You buy so many things and then that's it, There's no more to that. So unless you find fulfillment on your journey, then you're just going to end up feeling alone and empty and not fulfilled if the only thing you identify your path and goal and achievement in life to is just that, right? The monetary, the fortune. So again, for myself, thinking about how true that is. And for me, it's not about chasing the money for money's sake. It's just about what it can do to improve the quality of my life, but more so how importantly it can help drive the fulfillment, that I am pursuing with, this idea of wanting to help people, of changing my own life to help change other people's lives. And so I say all this to say this though, right? I think a lot of times, because we haven't had it yet, maybe that's what we think. Maybe we think we get the fortune and then we're happy and we're fulfilled and then everything works out from there. And what I see hearing these kinds of stories from these interviews of guys who've all made it, they had all the nice things, they had the nice houses, they got on all the trips, and they still felt empty, was that there is more to that in life. And if all your identity is that just money and success and the monetary things, it'll never buy this right here, that fulfillment that you feel in your heart, that you feel in your soul, because that's meaning, that's purpose, that's what you're being called to do. That gives you more meaning to your existence in life. So think about that beforehand, before we start pursuing success for the sake of just buying the things, thinking all the material stuff is all there is to it. And then we're just going to hit this point of being happy, right? Again, for me, it's not just about that. Yes, it's all going to be great and grand because it's going to change my life and my family's life and those around me. But it's more the ability of how it can help impact and create impact for other people's lives and opportunities and resources and all these different things. That's fulfillment. That's purpose. That's meaning. So again, it really comes down to that question, like, what's fortune without fulfillment? Thank you so much for tuning in to another week's episode of Health is Wealth. I will see you on the next